I talk about United and why did the Stars stop performing at Man United? What is it about this club that makes these top players not perform and then they go elsewhere and they start shining?
Yes, guys. So it's me, Nick. I'm the founder of Train Effective. I thought, Sam, we're talking about players every Monday when we meet up and we talk about how Man United is doing, because obviously you're a big Man United fan, apparently.
Yeah. No, I am. I've been through it all. Been through the glory times with Sir Alex, and now through the struggle for the last 10 years.
But are you actually a Man United fan? Because the way they're performing.
No, I'm a Man United fan. I'm loyal. I'm loyal. I'm a big United fan.
What's your greatest memory of United to date?
Ooh, it has to be the Champions League final against Chelsea, winning on the penalty shootout. It has to be that.
Yeah. I'm a Chelsea fan.
You're a Chelsea fan, so
Yeah, this hurts. This was Ronaldo. I just remember because I was in Australia. I'm from Australia originally, so I woke up. I don't know, 4, 5, 6 a.m. whenever it was Australian time, and then I woke up. Matches being played. And I think it was the first half. I can't remember, but the first goal I think was scored by United, and it
yeah,
was this like lofted ball into the box. I forget who crossed it, and then Ronaldo scored like probably the best header I've seen him score. One of the best headers I've seen him score. Outside of that goal he scored for Juventus, that like he stayed loads of time in the air. This was like I think the first goal he scored with his head, where he just spent so much time in the air.
yeah. No,
It
it
was,
was it was a top header, and then I think who was it that equalised? Was it Lampard? I think it was Lampard, right?
was it
I
was it
think
Lampard? How did he score? Anyone remember the 2008 2009 Champions League final, guys?
if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Lampard. The ball just fell for him, and it was a like, good finish. I think so, anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
and
Lampard. The chat are saying it was Lampard.
was it Lampard?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how he scored. Yeah, so it was it 1-1 and then it went to extra time?
Yes. Yes. And then I thought we'd
And
lost it. I thought we'd lost it in a penalty shootout. I thought, yeah, John Terry is going to win it now for Chelsea. It's done. And then he slips. And as soon as he slipped, I knew that's it. We're winning it. We are going to win this now.
man, that really hurt.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think you won it. You won the Champions League. How many years after that?
That was 2012.
So yeah,
Was
you
it
had
2012? Yeah, 2000.
so you had a couple of years.
Hold on. Europa League, won the Europa League in I think 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Champions League was 2012.
Let's see if the chat
Who
knows.
can verify for us? Who
Chat.
tap?
When did Chelsea win the Champions League? Like when was it they won the Champions League after that 2008 final loss to Man United? How long after did they win the Champions League?
Well, I was in Amsterdam for the Europa League final. Like I watched the Europa League final. Chelsea played against, I think it was Benfica, and Torres scored the last goal. I remember that. I think it was Ivanovic. It was 2013.
It must have been. Yeah, it must have been that.
2013. By the way, before we get into this other stuff, do you have an AirPod in? Because I can hear some feedback. I can hear some feedback on the video.
Uh,
Maybe it's because it's playing from TikTok. Like
maybe. Yeah. I don't have no AirPod. No,
you don't have AirPods?
I do, but I don't know. Like they're a bit messed up. Yeah.
Maybe put the Vimeo just put on mute.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe that's better.
like as in mute me so you can't hear me, but you can hear me here on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, got you.
Okay, doesn't make a big difference. Um, yeah. So we're 2012, 2012 Chelsea, 2008 Man United, and then what happened since then? No Champions League since then.
No Champions League, um, no Premier League. Just been. I think Sir Alex Ferguson left us. He left us in a bad time. Because when I look back, right, we didn't really have the best team. Like especially those last couple years or those last few years of Sir Alex Ferguson's time. Our team was okay, like, but it wasn't wow. But it was just we just had a really good manager who got the best out of the team. So when he left, obviously, it just went all downhill after that. And the pressure, I think the pressure of the new manager coming in and dealing with like Man United, the biggest club in England. I think it was a bit too much, and then now you can see like any manager that's come in, it just doesn't seem to work. So yeah, hopefully with Ruben Amorim, this could be a change. But even though it hasn't started well, but recently I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, and there's been like all these players come around over the years, and you've had an exodus of players that went on to some that went on to become better. I mean, maybe the most recent example is Rashford, right?
Hmm.
But he started United like on fire. I still remember when he made his debut. I think it was against Man City. Yeah, he came on. Did he score against City?
I think so. Was it? It was yeah. It was either against City or it was a Europa League game or something. It was something like that. But I remember I think someone got injured in the warm up or something like that, and then obviously Rashford started the game or he came on one of those, and then yeah, he just you could tell like the talent from then.
Yeah. The Rashford. Who else? Who else is like? Because I'm not the biggest Man United fan. You know, I don't really care to follow Man United. You know, day to day. So
Yeah.
who's some names that just they just didn't work out, but they worked out elsewhere.
You look at the players that obviously came through like the academy system, let's say. So you have, for example, McTominay. When McTominay was at Man United, everyone was saying, "Oh, he's rubbish. He's so bad. Blah blah blah. We need to get rid of him." He goes to Napoli and he's unbelievable. He's scoring. He's a powerhouse. He's doing really well. And I think if there's any Napoli fans in the chat, let us know what you think of McTominay because from what I've heard, he's been doing unbelievable things out in Italy. So that's a one example. Then you have, for example, Anthony Elanga as well. He was another player at United who everyone thought he's not good enough. Then he done unbelievably. He had a great season last season with Nottingham Forest, and now he got his move to Newcastle. So and even another one that didn't go through the academy system, but Anthony. We signed Anthony, right, from Ajax. He wasn't the best at United, and then he goes to Real Betis and he's winning Player of the Month. And he's scoring week in week out. He's assisting. So I don't know what do you think that comes down to? Do you think that's United as a club? Is it the pressure of Man United? What do you think it is?
And guys, chat. We're reading the chats, especially on TikTok today. So the TikTok feed just comes up for us. So if you got an opinion, just put it down, guys. But what does it come down to? And I think like this has been the debate for many years now at Manchester United. Like these players, like they come in for big transfer fees. Like, why aren't they performing? What is the reason? What is the core reason? Is it because there's always a change of manager? Like people can't find their feet, they can't find their flow because how many managers has Man United had in the last like 6, 7 years, 8 years?
So many, so many. We've gone through so many. We started off with David Moyes, and then I think we went to, I think it was Van Gaal, Mourinho, um, Ten Hag. Yeah, so many.
Yeah,
Seven. Ricardo's saying we've had seven managers since Sir Alex Ferguson. That's a lot.
it is a lot, and as players, right? Because ultimately, this is train effective. We're going to relate this back, guys, to how you can perform better as a player. But we're using Man United here as an example because do you think when you have multiple coaches, like, and I know you've had this, maybe actually, Sam, you have this in your career right now. You're playing at the moment. You've had multiple changes of managers the last couple of years, like different managers you're playing for. But basically, am I right in saying you've had a manager or in your current team, you you joined when there was a different manager and now there's like a new manager?
Yeah, yeah. So that happened. That actually happened last season. So I joined the club originally for the manager because the manager knows me, he knew me, and I've worked under him before. And then 3 months into the season, a new manager came in. A complete different style of play. Um, literally the polar opposite to the manager that I was that obviously I'd worked under before. So it was something I had to get used to, a different style of play. The old manager wanted to play nice, free flowing tiki taka football. With this manager, this new manager that come in, he was a bit old school, long balls, very direct. So it's definitely something that I had to quickly adapt to and get used to.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, especially in football, a lot of how far you progress comes down to people about their opinions and what they think of you. So many times you'll join a club because the manager really wants you to come. Another club and another manager might not just want you. I think this is the message as well for a lot of players. You guys go on trial, you go email different clubs or whatever to try really make an opportunity for yourself. And maybe you email 100 clubs and five reply, and you go on two trials, and one trial works out. The manager really needs you in this position. They really like you, and the other manager couldn't care less. Even if you thought that all these other players, you were better than the majority of the players or whatever, sometimes it just doesn't work out with the manager or the style of play or whatever. So I think coming back to like Manchester United and these players, is it a case of Mourinho signed Pogba and these different types of players, and then there's Solskjaer who had a different players that he wanted to sign, and then these kind of things, and then you as a player, you struggle to adapt. You can see that the vibe with one manager is completely different with the other manager, so you just don't feel that confidence that you need to play. Do you think that's what it could be? Oh, hold on, Sam. I'm interrupting you because I can't hear you on the other streams. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah,
I don't know why it just keeps going.
it's good now.
The sound's fine, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know, but I just feel like confidence is so important. As you can see when a player that comes, for example, to our one of our train effective camps, and that they have that confidence to express themselves on the pitch, etc. They're in a new environment, and I think the key word is being in the right environment. I think if you're in the right environment and you're around other players who are supporting you and you have the right kind of manager who helps you and is trying to work with you every single day and develop you, I think that's what leads to success. But when you keep chopping and changing, different manager coming in, new philosophies, new ideas. There's a lot of the players. I feel like there's no stability, and when there's no stability, it's very very difficult for a player to come on a run of form and to know what they're doing because every week there's something new. There's a new manager next month, a new style of play. I'm going to be in the team this week. Next week I'm going to be out the team, and obviously that affects a player's confidence for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've joined teams as well myself where like I'm going because the managers. It's like I get along with the manager. Manager's like, oh, you're starting 11 player. You're one of the most important players in the team. New manager comes. It's just not enough time.
Yeah.
The question is like, and that's a big one. Does cream just rise to the top? You know,
Hmm.
even if you get a manager you don't like, or you just don't like their style, does cream still rise to the top? What do you do as a player?
I think it's very important, right? So you're going to come across. This is why in football, having a strong mindset and having this, kind of elite mentality is so important because you're going to across managers who they might not like your style of play or they might prefer someone else over you. Um, and there's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it in a way of like, all right, I'm just going to sulk and I'm just going to have a bad attitude and I'm just, I'm not going to care. Or you can look at it from the other perspective and being like, okay, that's fine. That's his opinion right now. But I'm going to show him every training session, every match, why I should be playing in this team and why I should be starting every single game and why I'm going to be an important player for this team. And I think that's the most important thing. And when you see like players come to United and you give them opportunities, but I just feel like a lot of players just can't handle the pressure of being at a club like United. Um, it's because at the end of the day, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world, and the pressure at United is times 10, times 20 compared to any other club they've probably been to. So it's a whole different kind of pressure, and every single game you're expected to win, you're expected to play well. So there's no time to let's give him a little bit of time to settle in, etc. When you come to a club like United, you have to be on it from the start, and yeah, I think it's just having that kind of elite mentality to tell yourself, I'm the one who's going to change this, and I'm the one who's going to work hard and do the extra sessions and adapt my game to make sure that I'm in the team and I'm starting week in week out.
Well said, Sam. Well said.
Do you
Guys, by
think
the way, if you have questions, put them in the comments. We're gonna answer some of them. I think let's step in and just answer one of these questions.
there's one question, right?
Go on.
They've just said, do you think Man United is back? I'll be honest, let's not get too excited. It's the first time in a long time that we've had 3 wins in a row. I'm very happy. But I don't want to get too excited because it can easily go 3 losses in a row. Yeah, I think we'll take it each game as it comes, and hopefully, that the signs are looking good. The signs are definitely looking good, and it looks like we found a system or a style of play, which is is working at the moment. So yeah. What other questions
Let's
do you
take
guys
one
have?
more. Tyler asks, "I want you to sign me up in your football club."
All right, so we do not sign players for our football club as we're a training and football camp, okay? But you guys are all welcome to join one of our camps, okay? As we were speaking about, for example, Man United, this can go for you guys as well. You don't have to be playing for United to experience something like a professional environment or a professional atmosphere to improve and develop. So if you're a player that's thinking, you know what, my environment right now is it's not really helping me. I'm not really going to the next level. I'm not improving. Sometimes you need to change and come out of your comfort zone. So join the Train Effective camp. You can go on our website, traineffective.com/camps. We have a lot of all the information there. If you're interested, schedule a call with me via our website. And then I'll be happy to speak to you guys and hopefully, find the best camp that suits you. But the only person that's going to change it, guys, is yourself. So if you're there sitting there and you're thinking nothing's changing, you're the one person that can make a change.
I'll take the next one. What do you
Yeah.
think is the best 7-day training plan on your app? So, as Sam said, guys, trainingpeppers.com for the camps that we have. Next one is in Miami. Miami is going to be fire.
Facts.
So, check that out in December. Yeah, the best 7-day training plan. Guys, we have the best app in the world. 40,000 5-star reviews. 40,000, not 400, like 5-star reviews, guys. Trainer Peppers app. What do you think is the best 7-day training plan on the app? So it really depends on your position. The great thing is that there are lots of 7-day challenges based on different position. You can do a Cristiano, Messi challenge. And usually the trending player of the week is just there. So look, it's really any. Just look at your position. And there's so much there. Really so much there. I'll do one more. Actually, Sam, you can take this. How old do you have to be for the training camps?
So we accept players from 10 years old and above. So everyone's obviously on their own journey. But when you join the camp, you'll always be put in your own age groups and then ability after that. So whether you're 10 years old, whether you're 28 years old, we always put you in your own age group and then ability after that. So yeah, 10 and above.
Yeah, awesome. On Man United now, I'm back to player performance. Where did you want to go with this next?
I feel like with Man U, right? I feel like the players that join Man U, or if you look at back in the day, right? Compare the players from, let's say, 10, 15, 20 years ago, and you look at the Man United squad now, and I'll tell you the biggest difference, right? Back in the day when United were winning, you had players like Roy Keane, Wayne Rooney, Rio Ferdinand. These are all like leaders, like elite, strong mentality players, right? So with those kind of players, they can handle that kind of pressure. They in their mind, they belong at this club. This is where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be at one of the biggest clubs. You look at the players now at United. A lot of young players haven't really been in that environment before. And I look at the team and I don't see like a real leader. Like you can, Bruno is probably is our captain and whatever, but I don't see him as a massive leader. You can't compare him to like a Roy Keane. It's nowhere near. But I feel like that's what it comes down to as well, because in terms of technically and things like that, it's small margins. But I think the mentality of the players back in the day till now, I think is the biggest difference in my opinion.
What team do you look at now and you think, and also they're a great example for the young players, like that's a character you should really aspire to be, like a group of characters, a group of people like in a team that you think might mimic, those players of 15 years ago?
Oh, good question. Good question. I think I think right now, or like from last season, you'd probably say, it's like Liverpool. I think you'd probably say Liverpool in terms of, they had like the kind of the strong spine in the team with like Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah. With these kind of players, they had that strong spine in there and they had the experience. Um, but I feel like as the games progress, you know, I think nowadays as well for young players, it's great because I feel like more young players are getting opportunities now. Whereas I think 10, 20 years ago, I don't think they was getting this many opportunities than now. You look at players now. Lamine Yamal coming in at 16, 17 years old. There's so many young players getting opportunities now, and I think that's the biggest difference from what it was, 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, and maybe more fixtures.
More fixtures, all that stuff that makes a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it used to be a big thing. I think, like, who are the modern day equivalents of those those real characters, Like in the Premier League era, let's say 10, 15 years ago, it's like, I don't know, you got, I mean, Roy Keane's a bit before that, but
Yeah. Who have you got now, though?
Who is it now? That's the thing. It's like, who are the real characters, like you could just, they're so dependable, so they're such, just they'll die for their team.
Guys, in the chat, what do you guys
Yeah.
think? Who is a player in this day and age right now playing at this moment in time where you can say he's a fighter for the team, he's a leader, he's passionate on the pitch, and he's similar to like Roy Keane or Steven Gerrard back in the day. Who do you guys think? Let's see your comments.
Like one idea that comes to mind, Van Dijk, Virgil.
Yeah, I think
Although
Virgil.
this season, that Liverpool team, it's a bit rocky. But I think for good reason, right? Like there's a major catastrophic event that
Yeah,
happened just before the season started.
100%,
Like,
100% that has an effect.
I don't know how you, because you just have to focus on football, right? Like I
Yeah,
don't know how, but you actually need that time to just process like what's going on. And I think
and I think for
tough for
them,
those players.
it's like, you know, in the changing room, it's probably the worst. When I just think it's a very, very difficult situation, and I think unless you're in that situation, we actually cannot comprehend how they're actually feeling it every single day. When they're coming into training and things like that. So that definitely has an effect on them. Who are they saying? We've got Ronaldo, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. Anyone else, guys?
Sam, hold on. I 100% think Bruno Fernandes is, he like wears his heart on his sleeve kind of guy.
He
No?
does. He does. He does. He does. Like, I think he's definitely the best captain choice at Man United, and you can tell why he's the captain. Um, but also, he's got moments where he's a bit. He does silly things as well. But I think that's you need to always he's one of them players that plays on the edge, and I think the best players have that thing where they play on the edge. And I think that's something about VAR that I don't really like, and it's probably like changed the game a little bit. When VAR's come into it, you don't really see flying tackles anymore. Or like it's come out of the game. So that's probably why it's difficult for us to pick out these kind of players and seeing who's a similar player to that Roy Keane and these kind of, because I think it's been kicked out of the game. Valverde, yeah, yeah, probably up there.
What's for a young player watching, any player watching, what do you reckon they could take from Bruno Fernandes' game?
Oh, a lot, a lot. So any young player like plays in that kind of centre mid position, similar to Bruno, I think that the biggest thing they can take from him is, first of all, his hard work. Like, he works hard, tirelessly, and that's the one thing, guys. If you guys are looking to make it as a professional, you're playing at a high level, hard work. That's a given. Like, if you're not going to work hard, you can be technically amazing, but trust me, it won't get you anywhere. So you got to work hard, and you got to be fit. He's very fit, and that is the biggest thing I'd say. His he's played 300 games already for Man United. 300 games, and I think he signed how long ago? Like, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3 years ago.
Was it 300 games?
300 games already.
No.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. He played 300 appearances in how many years? Like, guys, when did Bruno sign for Man U?
It's like, I think he was signed
He
during
signed in the
COVID.
January transfer window, but when was it? What year was it? 2020. Okay, 5 years.
Not three. Is it 2020? Hold on, now I'm checking for. I'm
But
verifying that
even
right now.
5 years, 300 appearances. That's ridiculous.
It was 2020. In January 2020, yeah, that's already 6 years, man. Wow, he's already played for United almost 6 years. But yeah, 300 appearances in 6 years is a lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, and I think that's the biggest compliment I'll give him. And he's not afraid to take risks. As a player in that position, you've got to take risks. You can't always play safe. So yeah, really, there's so many things you can take from a player like Bruno Fernandes.
I'll like follow up this with a question, Sam, because Sver Henriksen,
Yeah,
that's a Scandinavian name. He asks, "How much should you train as a kid?" Maybe you can
yeah.
relate this back to Bruno.
I think you should always, as a kid, you should always train every single day. So like, whenever I've come online, I was speaking to a lot of the players. I'm always saying, you're waking up for school, right? Let's say, I don't know, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. You need to make sure you wake up before everyone else and fit in a training session before you go to school. So that could be an individual session that you do from a Train Effective app, and you're fitting in. It could be 45 minutes. It could be an hour, just a session. And already you've got a head start on your teammates and on your friends before the days are begun. So you go to school, and whilst you're at school, in your head, I'm already an hour. I'm a session ahead of all these players. Because that's all it takes. That one extra 2% that's going to make the difference of you getting a professional contract or not. And then obviously after school's done, you do another session. You could have your team training session, but it's always trying to find that balance. I feel like a lot of players, especially in this generation, they make excuses. Too many excuses. Oh, it's cold outside. I don't want to train. It's raining outside. There's always a way. You can always train, guys. Obviously, do your training and you focus on your recovery as well because you don't want to get injured. But I would say, the more you train, you're going to give yourself the best chance of making it because you got to do more than what the academy players are doing if you want to take their shirt. And it's as simple as that. And
Yeah.
even if you do make the academy, it doesn't mean you made it. I was at Watford Academy. I didn't make it at Watford as a pro. I didn't get offered a pro. So that's football for you. Only one person out of my whole squad got a pro contract. So again, you have to make sure you're doing your extras, and it makes all the difference.
And then and Matilda Erickson asks, "How much should you train a week, and what?" I always related Matilda back to the 10,000 hour rule. So if you don't know about the 10,000 hour rule, make sure you Google, maybe go here on TikTok, whatever, just search 10,000 hour rule because it really puts the numbers into question. And 10,000 hours means the 10,000 hour rule basically means it takes 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to become world class in your field. So whether you want to be a footballer or a chess grandmaster or a musician that's top of their field, it's 10,000 hours. So if you do the math, it's 20 hours a week for 10 years. 20 hours a week. Now, to put it in perspective, if you train twice a week, play a game on the weekend, which is if you play for a normal club, you're a normal kid, maybe that's what you do. That's maybe 4 5 hours a week. So think about that. You have to quadruple that, 4x that, 5x that, and keep consistent at it for 10 years, and maybe you have a chance. So I always try to quantify players in that way. 10,000 hours, you really got to put in the hours. And when we say deliberate practice, this 10,000 hours of deliberate practice, it doesn't mean just for 5 hours you're just trying to hit the crossbar or just like taking random shots at goal. About in total sports, um, having specific targets, you know, doing it with match intensity or at least the concentration of, taking it seriously like a match, and you're just really trying to hone in and improve on something. So yeah, look that up. 10,000 hour rule, big thing.
100%, 100%, spot on.
And ultimately, Madalisto says how to gain confidence. That's a big way you gain confidence. Is you do the repetition, you say discipline. You're going out when it's cold. You're going out when it's too hot. Well, this is not medical advice, by the way. So you gotta take this with a grain of salt. But like if you want unreasonable outcomes, meaning you want to be a pro or you want to reach the highest levels of the game, if you do the same thing as everyone else, it's not going to work. So you have to be unreasonable. You have to do unreasonable things, things that are not normal or common to the normal person. So yeah, you got to be unreasonable. It's the only way you get to
that
outlier
outlier
level.
level of success.
Simple as that.
100%. And you got to believe in yourself. If you don't have any self belief, nobody else will believe in you. Your teammates won't believe in you. Your coaches, scouts watching won't believe in you. So having that self belief is first and foremost. When you step on that pitch, you have to have that self belief. It is so important. And then with confidence, preparation is what breeds confidence. If you have a schedule and you follow your schedule week in, week out, consistency, and you're doing it every single day, and you're not cutting any corners, that you will automatically feel confident because you will go into a match thinking to yourself, "I've done everything correct. I've done all my work. I've done all my recovery. I haven't cut one corner. Why should you not feel confident?" But if you are cutting corners and you're cheating yourself, come a match day, you'll tell yourself, "Oh, I didn't do my training session on Tuesday. I've been cheating a little bit here and there." You won't feel as confident, and it's as simple as that, guys. So you're in control of what you're doing week in, week out.
Yeah, guys, it's so true. At train effective camps, we have hundreds of players every year that come to London, to Miami. We did our first elite camp in Portugal. I'll tell you one thing, guys, at the elite camp in Portugal, where if you guys don't know what the elite camp is, it's for the best of the best from the open train effective camps, some players from the app. But if you look at the elite camp of train effective, it's the best of the best, guys. And one thing all the coaches are evaluating players on is the belief. Do they believe in themselves? And so it's not just the skills. It's not just how good they are technically, their work ethic, but it's also if they believe in themselves. Because if you want to get to the higher level, and if you're going to get scouted at the elite camp, you've got to have tremendous high self belief. Otherwise, when you play against these good opposition, you play against players that are working as hard as you, or even harder than you, and you see the different abilities. You got to have that belief that I'm supposed to be here. I can be here. I can match them. I can do better. Not like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might get the ball sometimes. No, it's like got to be on it. I'm gonna command the ball. I'm gonna do this. Gonna do that. I'm gonna show people what I got. That's belief. Got to have that, and that's something all the elite camp players have, which you saw as well, Sam.
For sure, for sure. There's a question here from Manuel. What do you do when you're in an environment that constantly puts you under pressure? I'll answer this question for you. If you're in an environment where it's constant, there's pressure on you all the time, or people are expecting things of you, take that. Pressure is a privilege. Okay, so if you've got pressure, it's because people believe in you and people expect things from you. So take it in a way of like, oh, they actually think I'm good. They know what I'm capable of. If you don't have any pressure on you, it's because it's either too easy or there's nothing. People don't really back you, or people don't really expect much of you. So if you have pressure, take it as a compliment. Okay, so always tell yourself pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. If I have pressure on me, it's because people expect something of me and they know what I'm capable of. So always look at it from a positive perspective.
Yeah, 100%. Pressure is a privilege.
Any other questions, guys? Anything you see, Nick, that you want to answer?
No, I think we wanted to keep this a bit shorter today to see how things go. I think as we wrap this up, guys, and we're going to be doing more of these. This is our first time Sam and I have been talking like this. This is the first time we're doing trying something new and train effective, because we feel like we really want to get closer to you guys. We want to engage more with you guys. We want to answer your questions, and so your feedback's important. Do you want to see more of this? if you're watching live on YouTube, if you're watching live on different platforms, make sure you leave a comment so we can read this later. But we'd love to hear, do you think we should continue this? What topics would you like to see? Today was about, why Man United players flop, why a lot of them flop. I think we'd answered that, Sam, with we got to different change of managers.
Yeah.
Anything else we should quickly go through just to wrap up that topic?
Um, we missed anything out with United? I think we pretty much covered everything, to be honest. And I think it just, for me, it just obviously comes down. Obviously, that we spoke about the managers, and obviously it just comes back down to the environment. The environment is what creates success. So obviously, the environment of Man United is so inconsistent. There's no stability. It's very, very difficult to create success, and that goes for anything in life. If you have a business, if whatever you're trying to do, without stability, without a structure, it's very, very, very difficult. And I think that's why, if you look at, for example, Man City, when Pep came in and the new owners bought the club, they had a plan. It wasn't, oh, we're going to do this next year and we're going to win a league. No, 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 no. It was a 5-year plan. It was a 10-year plan. And they knew we're going to get this guy in, we're going to build a team, and then we're going to be successful for many years. And that's what they did. So, and I think that's what Man United need to start doing. And because there was so many chopping and changing, it's very difficult. So, yeah, I think that's the main thing to take out of it, really.
100%. Well, I think that's a wrap then, Sam.
It is. It's been a pleasure, Nick. Hopefully, we're going to do this again. Let's just finish off on, guys. If you want us to do this again, and you really enjoyed it, just put a thumbs up in the chat so we know. Getting that feedback from you is really important for us.
Yeah, we'll leave this for 30 seconds while we get the feedback. So leave a thumbs up, guys, if this is helpful. Also on the other platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, leave a thumbs up.
Yeah, just leave a thumbs up.
So we get that feedback.
Exclusive, we see you, bro.
Yeah, thanks, exclusive. You have to subscribe to get the complete package. Yeah, for all the content on the Train Effective app, you got to subscribe, but it's worth it, guys. Trust me. If you're buying boots for football and you're getting the top of the line boots, there's no reason why you shouldn't get the mid-tier boots or the low-tier boots and get Train Effective app instead. It's much, much more valuable. Trust me. Boots aren't going to make you better. The app will, because app is knowledge. What matters is knowledge, guys. You really enjoyed it, exclusive. Great. Thanks. Well,
perfect. It is. You're right. But yeah, I think that's a wrap, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it and you've taken something from it, and hopefully, we will see you all probably next week. Any last words, Nick?
No. Stay effective, everyone. See you next time.